Indeed, it's a minute gone past the hour of 9 o'clock in the studios of Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band. Good morning to you and welcome to The Point for today, the 8th day of the month of November. I'm Joseph Cadore. We say thanks for being part of the program. I want to say good morning to our viewers that has just joined us on GBN's Channel 7 and Channel 11, Channel 20 if you are in cable, or if you chime in via our Facebook page or the YouTube channel. We say good morning and welcome to the program. It's indeed a pleasure being here with you, not just today, but any other day. And we say thanks for being here. And those of you also, we can't forget, those of you just chiming in via the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd. It's the start of another week. It's a countdown to the holiday seasons, Christmas as it is. And this morning, it's an open line so that we give you an opportunity to share your thoughts, your concerns, matters of national interest. COVID, we've got the numbers under control. Thank God for that. We certainly want to encourage individuals to do not in any way become complacent and throw caution to the wind. We still need to be mindful of the realities of the pandemic, and we've lost so many during the period, 198, and that is just 198 too much. So we want to do not throw caution to the wind, but just remember to sanitize, do what you have to do. There's a lot happening on the political front. So much is happening across the different spectrums. TGM, the NDC, a new youthful. It's a revamping of the party as it is. And certainly a lot as it is that you can possibly talk about. The re-entry into the classroom, the phased re-entry into the classroom. This is week number 2. So you too can share this morning. 435-2041. What is that? Somebody actually made mention of no, actually no, that was actually sorted out already. There was an issue on Morass Hill. But while I'm at it though, and it's something I would say I need to remind individuals, especially those who go jogging in the morning. And while it is the best thing, believe me, it's the best thing that you can do. You wake up early, but you need to be mindful of the apparel that you choose to wear, especially in the dark of the morning. Some folks, you go pitched in all black. Believe me, nothing reflective on it. If you choose to go all black, it's easier. I want to encourage you to get something that that can reflect. Get a reflector, whether or not it's a vest. They have reflectors. Do you have armbands? Something of the sort. But it can really, really, really create a challenge when you're out there in the morning. It can really compromise your integrity for what you're doing in the morning and for traffic. And very often individuals, they assume because it is 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, that there isn't much vehicles on the road. They tend to throw caution to the wind as to how they cross. Folks, I want to encourage you. There's 2 near encounters. We had this just last week and even this morning. Persons just a little bit, for a lapse of judgment, I'm not sure whether or not they had music plugged into the air or whatever the case might be. But just to remind you, just to be careful, really, 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 really be careful when you are traversing the nation through the roads, especially that time of the morning. Let's see what's happening here on social media. This individual says, listen, congratulations to the new NDC on the new look of the party. Certainly it is time for the young people to take charge and do what they have to do. Mixed reactions as it is, and I believe that in fact the young people, they are the future of the nation, and certainly they have a place and time. By the way of information as well, there is a scoliosis clinic that is organized for this week for the 11th and the 12th. Yes, that's at the General Hospital, at 11th and the 12th. You are encouraged, if you are interested to make your appointments, you're encouraged to call 405-9700 and make your appointments. Yes, make your appointments today. Child month this month, so much that is happening, tempered a bit because of COVID-19, but yes, you had to remember the child month as it is. Only last week I was speaking with some individuals, Detective Andrew from the Special Victims Unit, and she was highlighting the occurrence of sexual abuse against children, and it is one of the issues that we really need to, that one of the devils, the demons as it is, the scourge of society, that we need to find a way to deal with, and not just talk about it, but certainly find a way to deal with it at its root cause. Why is it that as a society that we seem to have reduced ourselves to such lows, in terms of how we deal with children, and even the challenges that we have with the concerns we raise also regarding the abuse, honestly, that takes place against our elderly. It is just really revolting that as a society that we would not appreciate that which our senior citizens, those that have paved the way before us, what is it they have actually done for this nation. And certainly we need to really become a little bit more circumspect, take an introspective look as to where we are as a nation, and how do we fix this. It speaks volumes as to the type of nation that we're not and what needs to be done. Certainly it's an opportunity for the church, all the other stakeholders to come on board and see how we can fix this. Have we lost our moral compass, or we've lost our moral fiber? Are we that far gone as a society that no longer do we respect the virtue of the young and the old? We no longer respect the virtue and the sanctity of life, that we seem just to throw it with very little consideration. It says a lot as to who we are, how that we ourselves, we don't value our own lives. So certainly it makes it impossible for us to value anyone else. This comment coming via social media, and this person wants to draw concerns to what they see, and the overloading of those trucks, the SL trucks that's transporting debris from point A to point B. This caller is saying it is becoming a problem, and they transport the debris, whether it's gravel or whatever else, and then whatever there's a spillage that's left on the nation's road, and the worst case, if it's gravel or sand or one of these things is left on the nation's roads, and then you have other individuals that have to deal with it. Certainly it is a cause for concern, and you want to encourage the operators of those vehicles to be conscious. Listen, if it's a case that you have to stop, you have to make some arrangements with your own company to clean the streets, the road. I mean, certainly you need to do that. Another concern coming via social media, and this person is raising concern against the increasing calls against violence against our senior citizens. In the more recent times, we've had a number of reports, not just reports, but stories actually, of the violation of some of our senior citizens, and it is indeed a cause for concern. I am not interested in who the perpetrators are in the context of the age. In that context, the age doesn't matter to me, whether or not it is young, middle age, or whatever. It certainly doesn't speak well to us as a nation when we can commit such violent acts against our seniors. Looking at the root cause is that there are too many perverted men in society. They take pride in having children with many women and not taking care of them. This society has more people born out of wedlock than form married couples. Interesting. I'm not sure of the data itself, but I think the reality is that we've lost our way as a society. We have, in the context of our values. Someone said that when we traded in the Bible for a lot of different things. Children no longer praying in school and all those sort of things. I guess the issue of whether or not there's more children in wedlock or out of wedlock, people may actually argue. I'm not sure if there's the data to substantiate that, but what I think has happened is that we've lost each other in a generation where the values that we once stood for no longer are the absolutes. Everything has now become, well, feel good. I actually refer to it. Years ago, we know that there were absolute rights and wrong in society, and we accepted those. But I often say, when you open the floodgate for one, so we compromise against others, one sin, what's going to happen? It certainly opens the floodgates for a rush of demons, and that's one of the challenges that we've been forced to fight with. How do we fix it? Fixing our men, fixing our women. It's not just about fixing the men, because very often I make the argument that the challenges that you find in men, sometimes it's encouraged by women just the same. And don't get me wrong, I don't want anybody to start jumping on me, but we grew up in a society where years ago, where you hear women would say, well, they have their cock outside, hold your hand, where their boys are allowed to run wild and masquerade as though nothing is wrong. And what happens to the young ladies? They're inside keeping house, but the men are outside. So all of your life you've thought it okay that you should run wild. Let's see. Good morning, Alistair. What he says, St. Vincent is starting a free barrel program. Christmas program today. Are we going to start any relief this year? Are we going to get a relief this year? Peter says, we are crying out. Good morning to my old friend Oswald Pele Dabo. This one says, good morning, JC. A wonderful Christmas deco. It goes very nice with your t-shirts. Polo, tell them as it is. I have to remember to look on time because I fell backwards an hour behind. Yes, the clock went back, so you need to do that. I hope you and the GBN crew, well, we're having a really, really great one. So you continue to do your do. Alistair is asking, is there a minimum height for cable lines? I find that they've been pulled down by the high SL trucks. Flow is running lines as though they are hanging close. And that's a pretty good observation. I'm not sure what the limit is, but certainly it's a conversation that must be had. If it's a case that we have higher vehicles on the roads, then maybe there must be a policy that governs the heights at which these cables are actually hung, or maybe we need to revisit that maybe on these primary roadways, that maybe cables need to go on the ground. I know there was a conversation about that some time ago. We have a caller that is on the line. I think we lost that caller. 435-2041, that is the number that is on the inside. It's an open line today. And certainly, we've had a few occasions, yes, caller, regarding the cable lines that's been pulled down by a number of these trucks. Hopefully, maybe somebody from one of the utilities companies can probably advise us as to whether or not there is a minimum or maximum height at which they are hung. Good morning, caller. You are live.
Good morning, Sue.
And good morning to you, sir.
How are you, my friend?
I am wonderful as always. Thank you.
As always?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes I've been wonderful, sometimes I'm not so wonderful. But I'm fairly all right.
Okay.
Anyhow, you know, a few minutes back you made a statement, whether it's true or not true. What I look into, if your cop is let go and he's running behind the hen, as you will see when you look at hens, some of them run away from the cops. So if you train your hens the right way, they would know to run away from the cops. So they have a right to defend themselves. So maybe you're not training your hens the right way. You're not bringing them the right way. So they have to accept the cop running after them and doing whatever they have to do or they want to do. Anyhow, I look at even with some new development with NDC. Now, I think they might be youthful as you or more youthful than you. They say they are catering for a certain age group. So people like you and I might be left out because they are catering especially for the youthful ones. I can't remember if it's 18 to something. So then we're supposed to have a problem maybe in the next few months if by chance. Bear in mind, I'm not telling you not to vote for them. If by chance they get into power. And why should I say a few months? Okay. So I am looking at what is happening again. We're going wrong into a vicious circle. We may land up perhaps in similar situation as what we are involved in now. So I think we have to think more sanely.
What situation are we in now?
Certain people are, that's one of the many situations. As you and others are living in luxury, while others are living in poverty. In fact, I would have a tendency to believe that even some people nowadays, they have to send their children to schools far away from their home, these preschools, and they have to pay these preschools. But if government were to get teachers and build preschools in different areas, maybe where you have over 40 children, young children, toddlers, or I don't know if it's toddlers you call them because I'm not so intelligent. So when you could get them to go to school and you pay teachers, so you wouldn't have anybody or a few people having schools and charging exorbitant price, and you would be able to control these schools as to how you want them to develop. But everybody trying to make schools all about the place and charging prices. I can't tell you exorbitant because I don't have any child now. I'm too old to have.
Well, is it that they just open schools all over the place, or is there a need for them? So what is the issue here? Is a need, is a challenge? Because even if you open a preschool as a preschool or a daycare, or let's say a daycare,
yeah,
there is a body you must get. You can't just open it right away. There's the department that, of course, that has to sanction the policies that governs how the daycare and so is run. So,
okay.
So what is the challenge? Your amount of preschools or the quality of what happens at
I
preschools?
would say, I'm not saying, I would now use the word number of preschools. I wouldn't.
Well, so the number of preschools may probably just be an indication of what's happening. That we're probably in a nation where we
You're multiplying rapidly.
It may just be.
Yeah.
It may just be.
So I look at it. In other words, to lessen the expenses of, let's say, the people who have these young children, then the government should subsidize these schools. In fact, maybe get the buildings, put them in special places, locate them at special strategic points.
Okay.
So then if it's 5 miles, in fact, imagine somebody has to leave possible Vendome or possible Molineux or somewhere and go quite in St. George's to send their child. So they have to pay bus or buses and go and drop them. So you have to pay at least 2 fares, yourself plus and you have to go back for them.
Okay.
So I think the government should take up the challenge, the necessary challenge, so that people could be more relieved of this stressful situation. Thank you, anyhow.
Thank you. All the best to you. 425-2041, and that is the number on the inside. I agree that government has the responsibility to provide the enabling environment, provide infrastructure, but certainly I think at the end of the day, regarding our state of our livelihoods, we do have a responsibility ourselves. People may have various reasons as to where they send their child or children to school, but it's a choice that they have to make. 435-2041, and that's the number on the inside. I think we just lost that caller. We need to take a commercial break. We are going to do that now at 21 minutes past the hour. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, it is Open Line Monday on To The Point, right here on Classic Radio and GBN Television.
Stop the spread of germs that can make you and others sick. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. Wash hands often, especially after coughing or sneezing into a tissue.
Two minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. We have a caller that's live on the line. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
I just want to say something about the new NDC leader, Mr. Mitchell. Well, we have it Mitchell all along, but Mr. Mitchell was on the Nutmeg board, and he charged them $40,000 to overlook ordinance, and he didn't do one thing, just $40,000. We can't have a man like that to lead the country.
Well, let me ask you, hold on. This is Mr. Deacon, what he did in his capacity as a legal representative of whatever, that has nothing, that's a separate issue altogether.
No, but there's the honesty of the man. How you could have a man that charging $40,000?
Yeah,
he was on the board, and his partner was on the board, and they shared the money.
No. You see, and I don't like when we start going down that line of making assertions about he and his partner, as though to suggest that there was something, or some ulterior, or something sinister about what may or may not have happened. There's some things that we need to be very careful of, and we continue to hear the conversation. Like, keep in mind, the man is first a lawyer by profession. If he charges you whatever fee for his services, you either say yea or nay, and that's a separate issue. And I want us to be very, 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 very careful. We may not always like what we see, but we need to be careful that we do not just go out on a limb and make comments that we're not able to substantiate with he and his partner. And we go back to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning to you.
I just feel that they must give the young fella a chance, because Grenada is not belonging to one man. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You're welcome. 435-2041, that's the number on the inside. We continue to talk about the future of the nation of Grenada. The nation belongs to the young people, and then when we get it, there's an opportunity. What do we do? Classic, good morning, you're live.
Morning, Joseph.
Good morning to you.
Joseph, when you hear people coming and calling people names big so on the telephone, not telephone, the TV, don't accept those kind of things. That's running on the country. When the people and them know certain things, they must come and calling out man name, Mr. This and Mr. Stop them. Don't take that call.
What if you notice that the call, I did actually terminate the call?
Yes. Don't let these people come and call people name rah. So that'll good. Making the people look small and the country again, other people listening. That don't looking good. It don't looking good.
Thank you.
She know what she knows. Keep it for herself. They must have a certain level of respect to talk on the phone and on the TV, because a lot of people listening. You understand?
Thank you very much. I'm with you. 435-2041, that's the number on the inside. You can also chime in via our WhatsApp page. WhatsApp, same number, 435-2041. Let's see. It says, let's go to social media. It says, persons are given Persons are given land to build houses and they are allowed to do what they want. There is no follow-up from the Ministry of Health, Planning, etc. They create numerous problems even for those who've made sacrifices to pay for theirs. Pit latrine, drainage, loud music, theft, etc. and more. Classic, good morning. You're live on the program.
Yes, Mr. Cadore, greetings. How are you?
I'm wonderful, sir. And yourself?
I'm quite all right, thank you. Sorry, all right, great. Listen, couple of things here. Pop up your ears. You hear? Anyway, let's go straight to the point because I have limited time. Mr. Cadore, a couple of moments ago, you made a couple of statements. They really, intrigued me to an extent. One thing you spoke of is the way we treat our elderly citizens. Listen. The common man in no country around the world will, through his own deliberations, extend any special care for a population of elderly people. I refer to the common young person. This has to be done through policies of the state. In colonial times, they used to be called shut-ins, because once you're shut in, you're worth anything. And that has come true to us. So it's nothing new. That's the way we were taught. You did your do, should I shove you in the quote-unquote poorhouse, regardless of who you worked with or what you did before and your contribution to the advancement of the country during the years. And regardless of what you did, whether you were a travel, quote-unquote, I don't know if you know that word, but I refer to the people who back then used to repair the roads, clean the drains, etc. They used to call them travel. I think it is a French word, I'm not certain. Regardless of where you work, but as once you contributed to your country, it is the duty of the state to take care of you when you reach a certain stage in your life, whether you were poor or you were rich prior. But the state of Grenada today cares nothing of that. They demean the elderly people. Of course, they take care of their crew, where they know they're certain to get the vote from. Or they bring them to meals, they bring them here and they bring them, they give them sightseeing tours and otherwise. They guarantee that everything is brought to them. But the others, because this is what is killing this country. You see, this division, this color thing, we had to eliminate that from this country. Wherever it came in, I don't know, came back here and met it. But we had to eliminate that. The Ministry of Social Development and the so-called ministry, I don't know where this person is. You call them in uncertain matters, they have no answers for you. They do nothing. They have allowed in this country during the period of this COVID that elderly people have been dying in their homes, Mr. Cadore, dying in their homes. People with disabilities, there's evidence, dying, and even prior to the COVID, dying in their homes for lack of care, lack of medication, lack of medical care, inability to care for themselves, and every day they're boasting. I urge you to bring out the Minister for what you call that again? Social Development. The Council of the Disabled, all with their lawyers. I have 4 questions for them so that they can tell the people through their own mouth. Answer the questions that I have for them. The ministry, the so-called Minister for Social Development, and the so-called leadership, ownership, should I say, of the Grenada National Council for the Disabled. Bring them out, Joe. Okay. Similarly, I want to make reference to something else you said. Whether or not, I'll round up here, whether or not our people have lost their way, their moral fabric is the word you used, the moral thread. Clearly we have. Again, because of the leadership of the country. The leadership of the country is not interested in the people. Take a look at where this came from. I refer to the same old system that we have. We hire them as legislators, lawmakers, parliamentarians to work in the place that we make, where we make laws, and we modify the laws to the circumstances as the nation moves forward. But the morning after, we hire them as politicians, quote-unquote, cabinet members, quote-unquote, executives. So we have an executive legislature and they're more concerned of staying in power or about staying in power than to be working for the people. So they make laws that are convenient to them to hold their position rather than attend to the people. This system has to go down. This system is hypocritical. This system is evil. It's discriminatory. We have to make a division between the legislature and the executive. We cannot continue to have the same set of people presenting laws to them. Friday evening, they sit and clink in the glasses, and an idea pops up. So the Monday morning, they present the bill to themselves. They discuss it, they debate it, they approve it. Friday, they put their rubber stamps on it to do the same, and that is it, in their own interest. We need a system of government in this country where the legislature shall make the laws, and an executive, a technocratic executive, shall run the country's affairs bit by bit based on certain standards. The time has come. I urge you, therefore, on this one, to bring out the Bar Association and the constitutional gurus in this country. I need to ask them 3 questions, powerful questions, so that the people of this country can begin to understand how we've been duped over 50 years. Enough of the mamagism and the bluff,
okay, sir,
and the hypocrisy. Thank you very much for entertaining my
Thank you very much, sir.
Here. Thank you.
All the best to you. 28 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. It's to the point. It's an open line Monday. You get the opportunity to share on matters of national interest, anything that certainly that you deem important. There is a continued conversation, and I know, with the new construct of the face and look and feel of the new NDC, and certainly there's a conversation that is ongoing. It says, well, please give the gentleman a chance. Let the man prove himself as a politician. He's just starting out. He has to learn to take a licking and keep ticking. Dr. Keith took his share, and he's still ticking. And so I think everybody at the end of the day needs to prove their mettle as to whether or not they fit for the job or not. Only time is going to tell. But I think it is just a culture where we tend to predispose in our heads what should and shouldn't be. Always have to remember, Grenada, that politics is a team effort. It's not an individual that runs the show. So there is the one man at the helm, but there are others that supports in the growth and development of the country. It's about policies. It's, development, national growth is not about just about an individual with a personality or persona. It's about policies, and it's about governance. And it doesn't matter age. It shouldn't matter at whichever age, whichever end of the spectrum that they come, whether they're upper, middle, low. Listen, once they can get the job done and move this country forward, I think that's exactly what needs to be done. 435-2041, that's the number on the inside. You can call directly into the studio. It's an open line Monday. Good morning, caller. You're alive.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
All right, thank God for that. I want to make an announcement. I want the ministry and the people in health to listen to me very carefully. They had 2 gang walk on the hill up here in Mount Rush by the gravel heap. They cut one portion of the road, and they leave the other portion. They go to the next area, they cut the next portion, and they take a set of bush, all the things that they cut with an old pram, and they come and they pack it right in front of my house, the big pile of old bush and everything right in front of my house. They drove all the things where they drove it from and cut it. They don't cut in front where we are living, and they just took all the stuff and they pack it there. I asking Ministry of Health and the people who in the authority to come and pick it up, please. Please, I want them to get the message, and I want you to understand. I want them to understand. The people in Ministry of Health, the people they put up here to do the bushing work. They cut the bush from where they cut it, and they just come and pack it up in front of the road, in front of me gap, in a big heap. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 435-2041. I'm not sure what your specific situation is, but I've always had concerns over when they would start the bushing campaign, not just the debushing, even with the cleaning of the drains, and you would put the debris on the side of the road, and it spends days there. I'm not sure. I don't think that's ever the plan, but certainly that's what it translates itself to at the end of the day. Classic, good morning, you're live.
Joe, I'll give anybody a chance, so long as they have, what should I say, good ideas to build a country. So that is why, according to the what is being given to us, or been said as to what NDC would do for us, then I would actually say, let me give him a chance. And on the other hand, let me talk about something that burned in me since a few months now. But I never wanted to talk about it because people have a tendency to hate you when you talk of facts. Now, I've been to a government department a few months back to get certain let's say, I can't get a word right now, certain piece of paper to take some form of action, maybe in the court. Now, when I went, after a few weeks, I got this particular paper. But when I looked at it or analyzed it, there was one mistake, whether it be willful or typographical error. I went back for it to be corrected. The person who was there saw the error, so they told me that I would get it in a few weeks. When I went back the few weeks, I wasn't able to meet the lady there. The lady was, as I said, she gone on holiday. And nobody was officiating for her. It so happened that somebody called me inside there and asked me, what do I wish for? And I explained to them. And up to now, I cannot get the paper because everybody seemed to be on holiday. I don't know if the person will run away from me because maybe I was too vicious, because you see me, I like to.
So this is a government ministry.
Yes, a government ministry.
That you. So
and nobody was there weeks after weeks. I don't know if they willfully hiding or they willfully neglected the work and getting paid for work not done. So I look at this as serious thing.
Okay.
But I never wanted to ask that because they'll punish me more. They'll ostracize me more.
Well, what I would say to you, I don't know much about the punishment. What I would suggest to you,
the punishment take different forms.
The government is there. Government officers is there to provide a service for the people. That's what civil servants. That's what they're there for. If for some reason the service that you require is not being provided to you, then there's that individual, certainly they must have a supervisor.
It was provided, but was not provided in the.
So I'm
there was
saying,
an error.
and I understand this. So I'm saying, in order to remedy it and get the service that you require, there's always a plan B. There's always somebody that supervises somebody. I just say take it to the next level, and maybe that may just be.
Whom do I come to? To you? Take it to the next level to you?
Well, certainly I'm not in any government in any government office, but certainly if you need a remedy to it, then certainly. Question coming via YouTube: will Deacon Mitchell be on to the point today? Well, here's what I can say to you regarding whether he will be on to the point or not. The National Democratic Congress, we have an open. We've made provisions for them to be on the To The Point platform every Tuesday. As an open platform, as Tuesdays for the National Democratic Congress, Wednesdays for the ruling administration. So as to whether or not he will be on To The Point, that's a question for the party. They would make that determination. So, Joan, I would love to answer the question, but it is our hope that at some point, but we provide them with a platform, and they will determine exactly which representative comes on to have that conversation. So we wait to see. Yes, 435-2041, and it's To The Point. Let's go back to the telephone lines. Classic, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Mr. Taylor. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful, thank you. You go ahead.
Yeah, okay, good. The problem is was cable and wireless. Then it go to line, then it go to slow.
You are breaking up. Yeah, I heard cable and wireless.
Yeah. It was line, and now it's flow, right?
Okay, yes.
Okay, up to now, a lot of people bought shares in that company, and up to now, nobody know what happened with their money. They're not a meeting, nothing to say what they do with our money. Nobody doesn't know what happened to that money. I mean, I don't understand, but they could say that we don't mind that giving scholarship to the kids and talking big. But what about the people that buy shares in the company? What they doing with the money? They're not saying anything. So we like to find out what happened with that money.
So let me ask you, when you say they have no knowledge, are you saying that in the capacity as a shareholder of the company that you've had no communication? Because I seem to think otherwise.
Nobody at all. Nobody have no communication. They don't write letters to anybody to say anything, or they have a meeting like how the other companies do. We don't hear nothing.
When was the last time you got any correspondence from them?
Since after we bought it, we don't hear anything about it. All what we heard that they said the government sold it too expensive. That was all. And you never hear anything up to now. Everybody's still waiting.
Hold on. You said the government sold it? Greenlec?
Yes, the government sold the shares, not Greenlec. I tell you, before it was...
right, but that was years ago.
Yes, right. And up to now, nobody don't hear anything about that.
Well, I find it hard to believe so, because I personally, I was at that company for years. I also got involved in shares, and I got correspondence on a periodic basis.
You do?
So so it's unfair to say that nobody got any correspondence.
I haven't seen a letter in years come to me and say that.
Okay, so here's what I would suggest, because there must be some reasonable explanation to it. So maybe I'm assuming that you have an original document that you signed when you purchased your shares.
Right.
Right. There must be contact numbers, or you can go into the company as it is. Have a conversation. I'm sure Mr. Pitt or somebody else in there would be able to provide you with some clear directives regarding the state of whatever investment you made in the company, which was made through Cable Wireless PLC.
Well, that's not me alone, not me alone. A lot of people. So, it's only you is the lucky one because you used to work there. That's why they treat you so. Yeah.
No.
Because you used to work there, you get special treatment. So nobody else getting it. I'm telling you. Because you used to work there.
It has nothing to do with it, sir. I've been out of that company years now.
Yeah,
so
I know a lot of people out there. Yes.
If you really want a solution to it, I can suggest Cable Wireless PLC. The company is still there. Cable Wireless PLC, it is still in existence. I'm certain you can either Google it, you have some form of correspondent that you can use. Maybe if you're not getting the recourse that you need, then, as I always say, you go to Plan B. But I'm almost certain you'll get an email address, a telephone number somewhere that would be able, that somebody that should be able to point you in the right direction.
Well, not me alone. A lot of people talking about it, but they just keep it undercover. They just don't bother because they're old people. You understand?
So I'm suggesting
they're just old people. So anyway, you is the lucky one. I'm glad for you. You is the lucky one.
Okay.
And another thing again, Mr. Cadore. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Listen, Dusty Highway, where the government have the license place, it's time for them to do something with that old building, rotten down building, where people have to go and pay the license. Time for the government fix this building nice and make it walkable. Right? That building is too old, with a big hole and rotten down and all kind of thing in the roof. It's time for them to do something. Anyway, have a nice day, sir. Thank you.
All the best to you. And I do agree that greater efforts must be made, not just at that particular site, but other government locations, to make it look a little bit more modern, make it feel more comfortable for those who use the service there. On the topic of road work, we have a serious problem with supervision of work being done, especially in the St. Patrick area. A comment, I'm not sure, but that's a bit vague, but hopefully maybe you can add some more details to that. Storm Force, your comment there posted on YouTube. Classic, good morning, you alive? 16 minutes to the hour.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning to the listening audience. I have an issue I want to raise here. You know, the government had promised to pay a stimulus package, That's to taxi, barbers, vendors, and they add more names to it. But in terms of the taxing, they are paying the stimulus But there is also taximen who are registered under GTA, and then you must be entitled to get this package, this stimulus. But what they are doing now in paying out this money, they're only paying the cruise ship taximen, which I find is unfair. You understand what I'm saying here, sir?
Unfair? Why you say it's unfair?
Why should you only pay the cruise ship taxi drivers the stimulus package at the moment? What about the airport? What about the other taximen who register and is not in the cruise ship, in the cruise ship port?
Do you have an organization that represents the different taxi associations?
Yeah, there's different. There's airport authority taxi. There's cruise ship taxi. There's one outside there by the Digicel. There is the taxi association. But what I'm telling you here, the point you're making, they are only paying the cruise ship taxi drivers the stimulus. Why they do that?
No, I understand that. I was just asking you for the purpose of clarity, to maybe to help to get some answers to your question, whether or not you have a president, you have an association that maybe as a unit you can raise your concerns through them. I'm only asking.
Yeah. So I think it's not fair because they say they have the money to pay. Why choose certain people to pay and hold back and all this thing? It's my government making.
Yeah, okay.
That's my politics. Why are you choosing certain persons of the association and the tourist sector to pay? We need to stop that in Grenada. That way Grenada cannot move forward. It's only the cruise ship taximen have to survive and live. What about the airport? What about the taxi association outside by digital? That way the red shirt when tourists. You need to do better than that here in Grenada.
Okay, sir.
I hope someone listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's 13 minutes on to the hour, 10 o'clock in the morning. Good morning to Norbert Courtney there on the Zoom, on the what you see on Facebook. And Norbert is saying, somebody's asking, is Deacon Mitchell new to politics or is he new to frontline politics? There is a difference. And those are questions that certainly, I think, persons within, either Deacon himself, it's a good enough question. What is he new to? And that conversation and debate is going to go on for quite some time. 435-2041, the number on the inside. And let's just take a look at, make sure we cover all of the platforms. This person says no one is catering for any age group. Please understand that they are people who have the best interests of the country at heart. Classic, good morning, New Life.
Yeah, good morning, Joseph.
Good morning to you, sir.
This gentleman was talking about shares in company. It brings me back that we most of the shareholders at the bank, at Grandlands Royal Bank. That bank went into another name. It was sold. But up to this present day, the new owners have not called us or informed us about what is latest in terms of our shares. You understand? So the fact is that we are in limbo. So this thing come like a joke now. Everybody just share their shares. Royal Bank didn't pay interest, didn't pay the dividends for a number of years. They fall up and they're gone. And now we have ACB coming in. Nobody interested in them in. So where is our money? Like Grenada seems to be a place where everybody just come and invest, do what you want and go anywhere. I mean, come on. We poor people, we invest our hard-earned monies into the bank. That was the Grenada Bank of Commerce. We need to know what's going on. I mean, too much people come and take us for a ride. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir. Regarding those issues, I'm assuming that there must be a parent body. If you have a legal document, a formal document that shows this is what your position is, that this is your relationship with the company, I'm almost certain it's a conversation worth being had. Find other individuals, come together and see how you can make some change to it. 435-2041 is about 10 minutes onto the hour. It is Open Line Monday right here on Classic in the Morning Time. Good morning, caller. You're alive.
Hello, morning.
Yes, good morning. You're alive.
Joseph.
Yes, you're alive.
Joseph.
Yes, good morning. You're alive.
Morning, no, I wasn't hearing you.
Good morning.
Now, someone made a point a while ago about the bushing. Now, the bushing thing is a puppy show. A couple months ago, and it's not somebody else that said, the Prime Minister said he set up the bushing hotline.
Correct.
To call if you see irregularity in the road and thing. I called that line for about a month. Well, I guess up to now the line is warming up. It don't really get hot yet. Because if it's a hot line, it's supposed to be hot. So you may be warming up. Now I'm making the point of how the road workers, the road officers, the supervisors, looking at or managing the overhanging on the road. Now they cut the roadside here, only for small vehicles. No consideration for big vehicles. You know how many people that get the windscreen, the mirror, and the side of the truck mash up? I experienced my windscreen broke right by Blue Danube from branches they cut and leave overhanging in the road. All around the country you pass, they cutting the side of the road as if we having wedding. Like canopy. You cut the small vehicle go below, but the top is hanging over. No supervision, just wasting our tax money in the name of you're giving people contract, you're giving supervisors. The supervisors cannot even supervise themselves. I don't even believe the road officers know what's going on. All where you pass around the country, a set of bush, a set of trees hanging, and then when they cut it so ugly, like they just chop it, Operation Chang Chang. They just chop it and you have big stump hanging out, jutting out in the road. They need to do better than that. We are paying too much money for license, insurance, whatever with vehicles in this country to save too much trouble on the road.
Okay, sir.
It's time they do something. If you're doing it, do it properly. You need the vegetation to cut so people could see. Wrong corners, you cannot even see. When are we going to get it right? Long time when we had one gang doing everything. You had them cutting, they pitching, they draining. They used to do a better job. Time we get it right, man.
Thank you very much,
Have
sir.
a good day.
Thank you. All the best to you. It's about 6 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. We probably have time just for a final caller, and then we will just chime in and see what's happening via the other platforms. But certainly there is a lot, regarding the debushing program. As I said, I've always had concerns regarding you clear, you chop, you clean, take it from the side of the road, and you put it on the side of the road. I'm assuming there is a policy regarding when it's picked up, who picks it up, but does it always follow through? Is a different question. Good morning, caller. You're alive.
Hi, good morning, Chief.
Good morning to you. Wonderful, thanks.
I really hope, first of all, that somebody who can answer this question for me might be listening, because I really don't know where to start, but I need some help. I have a copy of a will that was left since 2011. That's a lot of years, and up to now, the person who is in charge of that will to do what he has to do hasn't done a thing. I have been very patient, but now it's overbearing, and I don't know where to start, who to go to, what to do, so I hope that somebody might be listening and can answer this question for me, because it's a dire situation, and I think it's a manner of theft. I could say that. Because it's family related, and family shouldn't be treating family like that. If you care about your family, you should have done something already. Thank you, JC. Have a blessed day.
Well, thank you. All the best. One of us, a will is a legal document, and it's not something that should be treated lightly. And certainly if you have a legal document, there is course of actions that can be taken. Whether or not I probably may start. You may probably want to start in legal aid and counseling clinic. Maybe that's a good place where you have individuals there that can literally give you an opinion as to how you should treat with those sort of documents. But it is a legal document, and certainly why not go ahead, find some recourse to it. 5 minutes on to the hour, folks. This is where we leave you for now on To The Point. I'm telling you, I'm in red. She's in red. She bounces into the studio. She's going to give me a nice hot cup of chocolate. I know she's going to do that. But folks, this is where I leave you for now on To The Point. But not where I leave you for the day. I'm not going to leave you hanging. Believe me, I'm here with you for the next 2 hours. And I got good company. For the last couple of hours, I've been well behaved. Going forward, I promise to behave mighty way. Until then, Grenada, for To The Point, leave you for now. But 'tis the season. It comes up right at the top of the hour. Janelle and I will be here to take you through to the next 2 hours. Wishing you the best that you can be on this wonderful Monday morning. For all of our listeners, those of you that's in radio, television, or you contributed via Facebook or the YouTube channel, or our website. So long. Have yourself a great one, a great day. Thanks for being part of the program.